how tough was my old man on my brothers and sister and I. Not pushing as far as success and needing to win, but if you're going to do it, we're going to do it, right? So there was a time when my younger brother wasn't working as hard as he should, and he wanted to go to the national tournaments like my brother and I did, and my dad was like, if we don't have to leave St. Charles County to find someone to kick your ass, we're not leaving St. Charles County. You have to earn that. That's good parenting. Hey, you guys got thrown around by like a rag doll by Keith Ketchum. Those weights in the basement, I checked them out last night, and I wiped them with my finger, and there's dust on them. Once you get tired of getting your face rubbed in the mat, you're going to go down there and pick up those weights. And he said this, and it's not a team effort. I work construction. I'm an iron worker. I welded all day. It's August. There's 130 degrees up there on that bridge deck, and I was in a welding coat and a hood welding all day. I'm not lifting weights. I lift weights all day. I've been lifting weights every day for 30 years. I'm not coming. Now, I will pay for these tournaments. I'll spend my weekends. I'll support you. I'll pat you on the back. But this is not a team effort. You're the wrestler. I write the checks. And I'm not even meeting you halfway. You run the ball to the 50-yard line, then I take it and I run it through the end zone. But you got to get there first. These are good things, right? This is good parenting. Another thing, when we were third-year wrestlers, we went to Grand Nationals. Back then, the youth national tournament was Grand Nationals. There was one kids national tournament. It was huge. My brother and I both went 0-2, and I remember apologizing to my dad. He used to weld and sell trailers and barbecue pits and smokers and stuff, and that was our he made the money for the budget for the wrestling, right? And I remember apologizing because I felt bad. He got mad. He's like, don't apologize. Did you guys train for this? Yep. We were 12 or 13. Did you work? Yeah, whatever. And he's like, okay, I don't care if you lose. As long as you train, we come here, we learn where we're at, we go home, we go crazy, we get better. Next year, you're going to come here and win this thing. The next year I won it, my brother got third. He could have crushed me right then. And, oh, it costs money, and what are you doing? And I don't know if this is even worth it. And I've had parents do that, and I'm like, God, you're a freaking idiot. Look at you, you know? I had a dad one time, he was so hard on his kids, like condescendingly. And I was like, hey, I want you to do me a favor. He goes, what? I go, stand up and pull up your shirt. He goes, what? I go, I want to see that 8-pack. Let me see your checkbook balance. Let me see what your credit score is. I knew it was crap. Do you donate 10% to the church? Do you spend quality time with your wife and kids? How many hours of TV do you watch? I just want to see what makes you so freaking perfect here. Let's see what makes you so perfect. I go, if you want to be that hard on your kids, you should say, watch my smoke, son. You want to learn how to be a savage and a workhorse and a perfect human? Watch me. I go, that's how you push your kids. You say, watch dad. Look how awesome I am. Are you up in the morning pumping weights? No. Well, then guess what? So, but see, my dad was like perfect in that way because he pushed realism, but didn't push winning, wasn't condescending when we didn't win. He was just very good. And so I think sometimes as parents, we kind of don't know how to be. I just had a coach in front of mine, 6 of his kids, 3 were varsity, 2 of them are the upper weights, 220 and heavyweight, quit, and they were state qualifiers last year. He now has 4 holes in his varsity lineup. I was like, dude, don't let him quit. He's like, what am I going to do? I'm like, you say, hey, okay, they came in like all 6 kids, right? But coach, we want to have a little talk. My heart's not in it. I'm like, I don't care if your heart's in it or not. Get the job done. Get out of my office. Go get your shoes on. You aren't quitting around here. Go. You guys don't know what you're doing, right? I said you should call their parents too and say, I need you to support me on this. Don't let them quit. We're so hyper-focused as parents. I hear this no less than 600 times a year, and I just want to bang my head against the desk. I just don't want to be that parent. I'm like, well, we've got our third generation of kids who are not expected to outlive their parents. We got type 2 diabetes. We have obese children. We have kids who play video games 14 hours a day. Half the kids in the inner city in the rural America can't read. I mean, dude, be afraid of being that parent. I'm like, no, you're going to get your little ass in that car and you're going to go to practice. And after you lose, you're not going to jump on mommy's lap. And hey, Maria, no more of that. He needs to learn that losing happens. We're going to learn how to lose. If I'm going to sit in the bleachers for 14 hours and watch you get your face rubbed in the mat, as long as you're putting in effort, I will do that. But you're going to go to practice here, okay? No, you're not going to quit. Parents let their kids quit way too easy. We were in 8th grade, maybe 9th. We had to run the mile for time. And I got the little high school or middle school record. I ran like 5-minute, 10-second mile or something. My brother got like, this kid Eric, I won't mention his last name. He was starting to turn into a little loser. And my brother and him had a little pact, and they just jogged. They finished like in 8.5 minutes. I literally lapped him. The PE coach, George Woodring, he drove to my dad's house. And my dad's outside working after work like he always did. And he was like, oh, Tony had a little pact with Eric. Guess what they did? My dad was livid. Never hit us, but he could scream at you when you deserved it. And I was a little punk, and I was like, yeah, Dad, I lapped him. I thought I almost lapped him twice. You should have seen it. I can't believe he did that. He's a perther, and he was slacking. It was kind of fun, actually. But my dad was like, no kid of mine, not in this house. He always said, I refuse to raise losers. It will not happen, right? I can't remember if Tony had to rerun that or not. I'm thinking he did, but maybe he didn't. It was a long time ago. But see, that's good coaching too. You make a little home visit or you do a call. So you want to be that. I think these are good stories, okay? Because my dad was very, people a lot of times saw him as flawed, but looking back, I'm like, that dude was spot on, right? AJ Ferrari says, hey, my dad sometimes isn't the coach or dad I want, but he's the coach and dad that I need at these times. That's what you want to be, right? So, oh no, honey, you got a 2.9 GPA. You can go to Harvard. Dream big. Think positive. No, you wouldn't do that. You would say, hey, Angela, hey, Marcus, you're not going to Harvard, okay? You got to get a 4.2. But we do that in wrestling. Oh, you just keep working hard. Cael Sanderson's going to college. You're going to wear the Penn State singlet one day. $200,000 college scholarship, baby. No. You say, you're not going to wrestle. You have this dream of wrestling in college, and you don't even get on the wrestling mat 8 months a year. And you don't lift weights. No. Be realistic about your kids, and they might do different sports. I played soccer and wrestling up through high school until I was like a sophomore, then I quit soccer. Got slid tackled, almost broke my ankle. My dad's like, dude, you got to quit that bull crap. So I did. After season, I put my season in. But, yeah, don't feed your kids a line of shit. That's not doing them any good. Say, hey, you know what? You got to be a world medalist. You want to wrestle at Penn State. They don't even recruit national champs. You want to be a world medalist? Okay. Let's map it out. You want to wrestle in college at all? There's only 78 starters. You want to be a 133-pound Division One wrestler who starts and who wears the singlet and wrestles on the Big Ten Network, there's only 78 of them. Just think if there was only 78 doctors in America, only 78 car mechanics, only 78 attorneys, only 78 college professors. And every day there was like 500,000 other people trying to take your job. There's only 78 because there's only 78 Division I programs. So, think about that.